Shalom, everybody. Shalom and peace to you wherever you are. As you can hear, the mosque is yelling behind me. I find this very interesting because I'm going to speak truth in the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who is truth. I want to thank everybody for praying. Yes, I'm still dealing with it, but I think I look a whole lot better than yesterday. The prayers have just, I can't begin to tell you. And sometimes it's hard to admit that you're sick and you're going through a rough time and everything around you. But that's what the body of the Messiah is all about, is to lift one another up. But I want to talk more about the peace of Jerusalem. The rockets have been coming nonstop, it seems like, in the south. And you know, today I was thinking about Psalm 122:6, and it talks about pray for the peace of Jerusalem, and may those who love her prosper. Well, the word prosper just doesn't mean just prosper how we think, how the modern church thinks usually is shoes with red soles on the bottom. That means you really made it. Or a big house or a garage. No, it means prosper in the spirit. It means prosper in your soul, and prosper with goodness to you because of Him, because you love His city. I was thinking about this, and I thought, Lord, how in the church you grew up with Psalm 23. Everybody knew Psalm 23, but nobody quoted Psalm 122:6. At least I don't ever remember that. And I feel like the Spirit of God is going to start bringing these scriptures up about Israel. And I believe this with all my heart. There are going to be more people that have the veil pulled off their eyes to see the truth of who they belong to and who is the Lord's family. Now, something else hit me today as I was just watching Hebrew News. And there was two young girls, probably about 10 or 12, that were being interviewed down in Ashkelon. And as they were being interviewed about the rockets and everything that's flying, the sirens go off. And of course the cameraman and the one that was reporting them, they went against the wall and laid down. I thought, how young to have this happen. So they began to interview them after the siren went off. And one of them said, the sirens are our friends. Why? Because we grew up in this. We grew up in the violence. We grew up with rockets. We grew up with attacks against us. So the sirens have become our friends. And one of them also said, you know, we're so thankful for our army. And then the other one said, but we're thankful for the God who's in heaven that watches over us, Israel. I mean, I wanted to bawl. They were so mature and so confident that they'll get through it. Yeah, there were times that they were afraid, but they'll get through it. And then I remembered something at a big conference up in my ministry in the Northwest, Pacific Northwest. And we went back to our building after the resort, you know, had the conference there. And I remember the Lord gave me a prophetic word, and I thought it was for all the pastors. You know, great, this is a great word for the pastors. I gave the word, I was obedient to the word, and it says, those who stand with my people Israel, the fire, the heat will be turned up 7 times more to see if you stand. And in Ezekiel, I think it's Ezekiel, or maybe it's Isaiah, it says that Jerusalem is my furnace. Of course, I'm thinking it's for everybody else. I had no idea that the Lord was going to turn the furnace up 7 times like Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego for those who stand with Israel. And if you notice, a lot of people will maybe say, well, it's too dangerous to come to Israel. And I'm thinking, okay, but that's your walk. That's your walk. When you follow the Lord, and He says, pray for the peace of Jerusalem. And there's so many more scriptures that it talks about to come and walk shoulder to shoulder with Israel. That's your walk. I mean, this is a walk. It is a test, and it is a fiery trial to be tested, and it reveals what's in your heart. And even during the night when my blood pressure was so high and I couldn't even stand up and my head was pounding and I ran into the wall a couple times, you know, I felt like I was being tested, like the fire of his presence was on me and letting the dross come out. That's the best thing in the world, is to let the dross come out, because it showed, okay, Lord, what is there that I have hidden, or what is there that maybe I'm not even aware of? And, you know, it was repentance. It was just a time in the middle of the night, for every night, I just say, Lord, I didn't know that was there, or I didn't realize I was like that. And it just was the most amazing time. So I want to encourage all of you, because there's so much intenseness going on surrounding President Trump. It's okay. Somebody just dropped the phone, but it's okay. There's so much what he's going through and what's America going through. But take this time to really go before the Lord and say, Lord, I put my trust in you for all things, whatever it looks like, Lord, in my life and in my death. So I'm going to pray for the peace of Jerusalem and all of Israel. I hope that you pray with me right now. Father Abba, I come to you in the name of your Son, Yeshua. And I ask, Lord, that you will be the shield round about your people, and that your covenant that you spoke over Israel will be a shield around about them, Lord, because this is your city and these are your people, Lord, and you have a plan and a purpose for each one of them. I pray for the children. I pray for the grandmas and grandpas. I pray for the grandma that was hurt with shrapnel today, Lord. She's 80 years old, Lord. Give her strength. Renew her body, Lord. Renew her body. And Father, for all of those, the army that is on the forefront. And Lord, I pray for the American army that is always on the forefront. Father, those that walk in your righteousness, in your truth, Lord. And you said, Lord, that you hear the ones that say your name, and you bend down out of heaven, and you hear us, and you write us in your book. I thank you for your promises, Lord. And Lord, bless the ones that are praying for Israel night and day, Lord, night and day. And that I put the red alerts, Lord, that no matter if they're interrupted by the sleep, because it reminds me of the Garden of Gethsemane when the disciples, they couldn't stay awake. Well, Lord, that red alert will wake people up. And Lord, I pray they do not turn it off nor silence it, that they would be found awake and alert in such a time as this, because Lord, you are coming soon. So, Father, I pray this in your mighty, mighty, mighty Son's name, in Yeshua. Amen. I love you and I bless you, but keep praying for this. And notice I have earrings on today. This is a big deal. And pray for the peace of Jerusalem.